Hey there, Marc Shelton with ProHangers Supply. ProHangers Supply is your North, Central, and South American representative for tapo-fix pasting machines and material dispensers. Today, I'd like to speak with you about our CB75X pasting machine. This is the new X series of the CB models where a tapered sloping edge was added to the paste well. It's a 32-inch working width pasting machine, and it is designed for professional grade residential installations up to 32 inches in width. The CB75X comes standard with your pasting machine, your rotary cutter, your material bar, and your stainless steel folding stand that has locking casters and legs that fold and lock in place so that during transport it's easy to get from one place to another. You have a locking mechanism underneath that locks, and also you have locks that slide down when the legs are extended to keep them from accidentally folding up. The CB75X, the A in the designation is for an aluminum anodized paste roller. Standard, the CB series pasting machines come with a plastic paste roller, but for North America, for our extreme climates from hot to cold, an anodized paste roller is added to this machine to help control any issues with contraction, expansion of the paste roller. So the anodized aluminum allows that paste roller to stay rigid and have no effect in extreme heats, extreme cold. So this is a friction only pasting machine, meaning it is not a geared pasting machine as some of our other products, our S series in specific. This is a friction only pasting machine, meaning that when material is loaded onto the material bar and goes past this guide roller and is loaded onto the paste roller and closed, it is brought around from this side to your other guide roller that is on your lid here. The friction of the material being pulled and being pressed down by this lid and running along these guide rollers rotate your paste roller, applying the paste to your machine. So this machine does not activate gears as the material is being pulled through the machine. So it is designed for less viscous paste. It does not require watery paste, but it is designed for a less viscous paste than some of our S-type geared machines. There is some significant differences also in the way the paste is applied. The machine uses dials that move the paste roller in conjunction with this line here, and you have controls on either side that adjust the thickness of your paste as it is applied to your material. You have options for large diameter rolls to place your materials on the stand, or it can also be moved into this position for smaller diameter rolls. You have a stainless steel cutting edge at the top that is used in conjunction with your rotary cutter, and the rotary cutter is available for positioning on left or right side for left or right hand use. This is a pasting machine that is designed to be used with all residential goods, paper goods, non-woven goods, especially well designed for non-wovens, but also your expanding paper products and light vinyls. It was developed specifically for non-wovens, and for metalin and cellulose paste, but with the adding of the tapering of the paste well, it is now suitable for many of the Roman pastes that we use in North America. Especially the machinable, strippable paste are highly suitable. Your 234, your 780, your 880, all of those products work very well in this machine. The CBX series pasting machines come in 3 sizes of working width. You have your CB75X that is a 32-inch working width, comes with the stand, machine, and all the accessories, the material bar and the rotary cutter. You also have its wider cousin that is a 40-inch working width, the CB1000X. Everything with the CB1000X is identical to the CB75X in function and design, just with a wider working width. All of the accessories that work with the CB75X also work with the CB1000X, except they are designed like the sliding cutter. The tables are wider widths as well to adapt to the wider width machine. Also comes with the stand, material bar, rotary cutter, and then we have the smaller cousin, the CB67X, that comes with all the same accessories. It comes with the folding stand, comes with the material bar, and the rotary cutter. Has a 22-inch working width. Everything, again, exact same design and function as its wider cousins. Also in the CBX series family is your CB70X. This is the only CBX machine that does not come with a folding stand. It comes as a tabletop model that is designed to be used on the tapo-fix tables that are designed for this width machine. Again, it also has accessories that are specific to its width, but the only difference is that it does not come out of the box with a folding stand. Now that we've demonstrated the types of machines and how they're designed to function, we're actually going to walk through setup and use of a CBX pasting machine. We're going to use the CB75X today, which is again a 32-inch working width, and today we're going to be using some T-bow non-woven 27-inch material as our test material to demonstrate with. So when using your machine, you want to move it into position. Again, you have rolling casters that lock into place. So as you're setting up, first thing you want to do is lock your casters. You have locking casters both on the front and the back, which keeps the machine very stable and allows you to work with it without it moving out of position. So again, you have the option on your material bar for wide width materials. Large diameter materials you can place on the lower attachment on your stand, but it is also possible to place your material on the machine itself for smaller diameter materials, or if you want to use your machine in conjunction with a swivel. Swivel will not work when your material is set up on your stand, because once you add a swivel to the setup, your pasting machine is rotating, and so the material needs to rotate with the swivel. So now we have our material loaded onto the pasting machine. We've got our wheels locked. We've already set up our stand, got that locked into place. So we're going to fill our pasting machine. First thing, make sure that your drain plug is in place. Always check that. That's something you don't want to do. So check that each time. And then today we're using Roman 780 strippable clear paste. This paste right here on the label says it's machinable, and it is a very machinable paste. Straight out of the bucket, we've added no moisture, added no water. We've not diluted this. And we're going to go ahead and fill our paste well. The first time that you're using your pasting machine, when you're first setting it up for initial use, there's going to be voids down in the bottom of the paste well beneath the paste roller that you'll want to go ahead and fill in by priming your roller. So to start with, you want to go ahead and turn your roller, get paste flowing onto that roller. That paste is going to move into the voids underneath your paste roll, fill in those voids, and it's going to level out. And you're going to need to add a little bit more paste after doing that to go ahead and get it to the maximum level so that it's going to paste efficiently. Once that is done, we simply take our material, we load it over and onto the paste roller, and then just onto the catch bar. This keeps the material from going into the paste and into the paste well and becoming a mess and problems. You want to keep your hands clean while you're pasting. So then you close your lid, and again, so now your material is underneath your first guide roller, over your paste roller, underneath your second guide roller, and this creates a tension that pushes that material down onto your paste roller and allows it to turn the paste roller as the material is pulling through. So we want to adjust our paste settings on our machine. Now this is something that you get a feel for after using your machine for a while, but I typically am going to start on a normal non-woven on setting 1. So I move my dial into position on 1, and I do this on both sides equally. I tighten this thumb screw once I get my setting into place, and that has positioned my roller to a certain distance from my spoiler plate on the machine so that my paste is going to be taken back off as it rotates, goes through the paste well, picks up paste. It's going to be taken back off of the paste roller in the same increments all the way across your paste roller and then applied to your material. Unlike some of our other machines that use our geared machines that use a scraper bar, this machine does not use a scraper bar, so it does not leave the rows that many people refer to that are left behind by a scraper bar. So this is just as smooth as applying paste by a roller, but perfectly accurate side to side, end to end. So I'm going to lock my wheels back in place. And now we're ready to start pulling paper. Again, my paper is sitting on my catch bar, not in my paste, so I've got a clean edge to work with. I simply take my material, pull it around, and I'm ready to start pasting. One of the most important accessories that you can have in conjunction with your pasting machine is an inch counter. An inch counter is the MZCBI, I standing for inches, it measures in inches, is used in conjunction with your pasting machine as material is being pulled through. It measures the length to the length that you desire so that you can cut. You're not having to pre-cut panels and pull them through your machine, and you can cut them to precise lengths while it's being pasted, saving time and adding to your efficiency. The counter for the pasting machine mounts to the back side of your paste well and is used with all of the CBX and S series pasting machines. So the same counter for one machine works across the platforms and is attached by simply tightening down this thumb screw onto the back side of the paste well. It can be moved horizontally for narrower width materials as needed, wherever you want to position it. So now that we have our counter in place, as we load our material again over the paste roller onto the catch bar, close our lid, the counter also serves a second purpose. As we begin pulling our material through the machine, it acts as a catch, keeping that material up tightly against the lid as you're pulling it. So I'm going to pull my material. I'm going to start by cutting at whatever point in my pattern that I've chosen. And at that point, I simply zero out my counter. As I'm pulling, the counter is counting off in inches. I pull to my desired length, book my material, and cut on my cutting edge. The counter serves the purpose of also holding that material in place so it doesn't flap back over into the paste well after the cut is made. The counter is not standard with your pasting machines. This is an accessory that can be added. I see it as a very necessary accessory for the professional paper hanger. All of your CBX series pasting machines come standard with your rotary cutter, which works in conjunction with your built-in cutting edge. As an optional accessory, you can add the sliding cutter that works with all of your CBX series pasting machines in different widths that are designed in conjunction with the width of that specific pasting machine. The sliding cutter takes the place of your rotary cutter and uses the same blade that comes standard with your rotary cutter and the housing for the blade. To attach your sliding cutter, you simply bring it to the front of your pasting machine. It slides into pre-designed grooves. And then locks into place using these thumb screws and arms that attach to the lid. Now, the first time that you install your sliding cutter, the bearings on your back guide roller have to be replaced with bearings that include a stop that keeps the weight of the sliding cutter when you open your lid from swinging full tilt. This stops this at this position so that it does not come back and damage your counter, and also from falling back too far and damaging your machine. So at initial use, very simple operation. You simply remove these bolts, take them out, replace them with the new bolts, bearings that are provided with your sliding cutter, and that includes the stops. Now you can open your sliding cutter, load your material as you would any other time, but now instead of having to reach for your rotor cutter, reach for a knife out of your pouch, you simply cut your material. Pasting machines and the accessories that we sell to go with them are all about saving time. This is a time-saving device. For every cut that you make, you're not having to reach for a cutting device. It's there waiting for you. It works in both directions. So you're not having to reposition the cutter each time you make a cut. You simply cut it off and you're ready to paste. Quick, clean, efficient. Sliding cutters are available for all CBX series pasting machines. New to the tapo-fix family of accessories is the swivel that is adapted for both the CBX and the S-Series pasting machines. Swivels were a part of the S-Series previously, but not the CBX, and they were a smaller, more condensed version. This is a heavy-duty, sturdy swivel that has multiple ball bearings in the center, very stable, and is designed for use with both your CBX and your S-Series pasting machines. The brackets on the back end are adjustable. It comes with two brass nuts that go onto the threaded screws. So you have a center mount here for your CBX series, and you have your outer mounts for your S series. This swivel is the SWL 3275, which means it works with the S 2032 pasting machine and the CBX 75, CB75X rather. So to mount your swivel onto your stand, you lock your wheels, and it mounts in the same manner as your pasting machine. You have tabs that slide in on the front, and then it simply drops down on the back, and you tighten your nut down. You have a locking mechanism on the swivel that locks it to where it does not swivel, and this allows you to mount your machine onto the swivel, and it also keeps it stationary when you're draining your paste out of your machine or when you're transporting it from place to place on the job site. It's not mobile, it's not moving, but then once you want to activate your swivel, you simply turn your locking mechanism, and now you have 45 degrees of rotation in both directions for both left-handed and right-handed installers. The swivel is designed as an ergonomic tool. You can definitely use your pasting machines without a swivel, but the addition of a swivel allows you to pull paper when you are in front of a table and not have to bend over the table to pull, but instead, as I'm pulling, if my table's here, I can swivel my machine, keep a straight back, I'm pulling my material, I get it to my length because I have my counter attached to the machine, and then I swivel back over my table and do my booking. This not only is ergonomic for your back, but it also keeps you from torquing the paper in one direction as you're pulling it. You can apply even pressure to pull the material through your machine without pulling stronger or harder in the direction that you're pulling from. You're pulling smoothly, evenly, and with a straight back, which is important when you're pulling material all day long through a pasting machine, especially if you have lower back issues. This is available for our S2032, our S2040, our CBX75, CB75X, and the CB1000X pasting machines. The newly designed swivels incorporate a cutout in the center of the swivel to work in conjunction with your drain plug. Drain plug on all of your CBX series pasting machines have always been bottom center of the paste well. The new S series that are coming out this year, this summer, also will have the drain plug positioned bottom center of the paste well, so the machines can be drained with the swivel in place. So for mounting, once your swivel is in place, you mount your pasting machine in the same way as you would onto your stand, sliding the tabs into these front locks and then dropping it into position and then screwing on your brass nut, holding it into place. Now, your swivel is able to operate fully functional in 45 degrees in both directions. With the cutout of the center of your swivel, now you can pull your drain plug while it's mounted on the stand, on the swivel, locking your swivel back into place, and you can drain your machine entirely set up as it is. As an additional accessory, we have our booking tables that are available both for our CBX and our S series pasting machines. This is the GT80F, which unfolds into an 80-inch working space that is 34 inches wide, so it works with your S2032 and your CBX75 as well. It has a smaller version that works with your CB67 and your CB70, and then you can add a table extension that extends this table to a 7 inches additional width so that you can use it with your S2040 and your CB1000X. So it comes with this cutout for transportation so that you can carry it upstairs through doorways, and it's fairly light and easy to manage. For setup, you simply unfold snap your braces into place, and then you have a cross brace that comes together and locks down with a tightening nut. Reach over, grab your handle, flip it over into place, and you're ready to go to work. So now that you have your GT80F booking table set up, it's time to go ahead and use it in conjunction with your stand and your pasting machine. When you purchase your table, it comes with these brackets that quickly adapt to the end of the upright right portion of your stand so that the table and the stand can be married together. These are attached with just a simple screw and nut. Takes a couple seconds to put them on, and then after that, once you have your wheels on your pasting machine locked, you simply roll your booking table into place hook it on one end, hook it on another end, and now your machine and your table move in tandem with one another. So if you have to move to a different section of your job site, a different room, or just want to move closer to your work area, now you have all of your equipment moving with you. You can use this to put your materials, your wallpaper, your paste, and everything's traveling with you, mobile, quick and easy. So now that we have our pasting machine attached to our swivel that is attached to our stand, now we can use our whole setup in conjunction with a full booking table. This is our GT80F booking table. It is 80 inches in length and it folds in half, giving you a 40-inch with a carrying apparatus here with a hole to carry it with, legs fold in for easy storage and carrying. So we're going to use this with our swivel now. So this table is designed that it has attachments, that this arm has brackets that attach to it and hooks onto here so that the machine and the table move in tandem with one another. But that is when you're using this setup without the swivel. When you have the swivel attached, you want to be able to get that 45-degree motion in both directions. So the stand has to be positioned away from the table slightly by about 6 inches. So you set it up to where your machine is coming just shy of the table, and then you go ahead and lock your wheels into position. Now you're ready to use your swivel. So from here, it works just the same, but now instead of having to bend over to load my material, I'm not having to bend over and stretch. I'm able to swivel the material, the machine to me, load the material without putting a strain, without stretching. And now I can proceed with pasting and booking my material using my booking table. So we'll grab a hold of this. And notice, I'm not bending over my table, I'm not straining my lower back, and even equally important, I'm not torquing my material. I'm not pulling from one side heavily and lightly from the other side. I'm pulling even, so I'm not putting stress. It's especially important on materials, thin materials that tear easily. So now I'm able to pull it delicately. I'm not putting a strain on the paper. Swivel back over my table. And now I've got my second length that I want to pull. I have my number on my counter that I want to reach. I'm wanting to go to 100 inches. Again, I'm able to swivel away from the table, get to the number that I want to be at. Cut and book my material. Quick, easy, efficient, ergonomic, and much less strain on the material. This is your CB75X with its accompanying swivel. All of these accessories are available for all CBX machines. Alternatively, you can also take your swivel. This is the SWL 3275 swivel that works with the CB75X pasting machine. We have our sliding cutter mounted on top of this and showed you how it could be used in conjunction. The swivel could be used in conjunction with the stand set apart from the table. But now you have built-in attachments on your table that the swivel can attach to, and then the machine attaches to the swivel. So now, if you have less real estate to set up your workstation at, if you don't have as much room to set up in, you don't have that extra length to set up a stand, you can still use your swivel mounted directly to your GT80F table. So as before, you have the ability to pull your material at an angle, not torquing your material, not straining your back. book your material. And once again, quick, clean, and efficient. So today we're going to go ahead and demonstrate one of our 40-inch pasting machines with a 40-inch working width. There's several options, or two options actually, in the 40-inch residential pasting width category. You have this is your CBX 1000A, and then you also have the S-type, the S2040. Today we're using the CBX 1000 with 780, Roman 780 paste, and we're going to run some grasscloth through this machine. A lot of people do not think that you can use a machine for grasscloth, but we're going to demonstrate today that you can get the perfect amount of paste on your material even and without getting paste on the front. So we are using this in conjunction with a swivel, because I like using a swivel, especially on 36-inch goods, on all my goods, but especially this because it's such a wide width. It makes it possible to easily handle pulling your material through the machine with the swivel and not having to torque your lower back bending over the table. So we're going to go ahead and lock this swivel back in place for the moment. This table, the GT80F, also has a table extension that can be added to it. That without the extension, you have a 34-inch working width. By adding the extension, you are able to extend your working width from 34 inches to 41 inches. The GT80F comes with brackets that can be fitted onto pre-drilled sections on your table. The rivets, there already are existing rivets in these spaces. A drill bit is provided with the bracket. You simply drill the rivets out, and then the bolts and screws are provided for these brackets that make it possible to add your table extension. Your table extension comes with a carrying handle, so that's easy to transport, easy to store in your storage space, in your van, in your vehicle, and easy to get on and off the job site. You have a lock that locks it into place. You release. You also have another locking mechanism on the inside that prevents it from folding up while in use. So now you have your extension set up and ready to attach to your table. You have brackets here that fit onto your brackets that are provided with your table. I simply line those up, slide them into place, and now I have a 41-inch working width that I could easily pull my 36-inch goods through my pasting machine and have plenty of room to work. Again, I'm going to use my swivel today, so as we have done in other demonstrations, we're going to position our stand a distance away from our table so that our swivel can do what it does without hitting the table. So I'm going to back this up just a little bit to show you. That is the perfect distance that you're just coming almost into contact with your table without hitting it. So we have some T-bow grasscloth today that we're going to run through this machine. Again, we're using 780. This would also be possible with 880, with 234. Most of your strippable pastes, if you like to use a thicker 838 or a GH34, I would recommend using the S series that is a geared machine But for this machine, and if you're okay with using those pastes, which I do commonly on grasscloth, then this is a perfect application. Now again, I've already preset my paste settings to 1 and tightened down my thumb screw so that my paste setting is already set, but as I start pulling my material through there, I'll know whether or not I need to adjust it. So we're gonna go ahead and test this out. Lay it over onto this, where the catch bar really comes in handy. You don't put the end of that material down into your paste, so it's very important to work clean when you're working with grasscloth. We close our lid. And again, the swivel enables me to be able to do all this without having to stretch, without having to bend over. Makes it very easy and ergonomic. Put my counter into place, clear it out. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Now I'm ready to start pulling. As you can see, the paste is distributed evenly at the same thickness, side to side, front to back, without applying any paste to the face of the material. The swivel allows me to do it without straining and without torquing the material. I book my material. I need to pull it another 20 inches or so because I'm using my counter to pull it to exactly 100 inches. Again, place it on my table. Now a piece of grasscloth, 100 inches long, that would have taken me to cut, paste, and book approximately 8 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes, can be done in a little over a minute. It's a time saver, it's clean, it's efficient, and with this setup, you can do all of your 36-inch goods, your fabrics, your corks, anything in a wide width, your sisals, any of those materials is perfect for both this machine and your S2040. In addition to our GTF booking tables, we also have GTN series booking tables that are a half booking table that takes up less space than a full-size 80-inch long booking table. So when you have needs for a compact setup space or just don't want to carry up in as much equipment, you have the option of a half booking table. Conveniently attaches to the front side of your pasting machine so that during transport you can go through narrow corridors, and also you can carry all of your equipment in one trip. To set up the table, you first want to lock your wheels. You have a hook with marrying hooks on the stand that allow that to be attached. To set up your table, you set the bar into the brackets that are provided with your booking table. Lock it into place. And you have storage capability for roll goods, for your hand tools, levels. All of this works and folds up very quickly and easily. This is our I version of the GTN booking table. It is marked in inches and allows for you to use your cutting strip that is at the center of the table along with your cutting edge that holds your material in place. Just as we've demonstrated with our other pasting machines, works in the exact same manner. But now we have a small booking table, small area to work with, doesn't take up as much space, and we still have a working surface for our material. So as I pull this material to the length that I need, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and book it. Now there are marks on the surface of my table in both directions from the center point, the cutting edge. So if I need a certain amount off of one side or the other in either direction because my markings go out from the center, I can now take my material, butt it, set my bar at the width that I need, butt my material up against the bar, and now move my bar into place that's going to hold my material down and in position. There is a slotted edge at the top of this cutting edge that I can now take my knife and run it through, giving me the width that I need. In addition to our other full-size and half-size booking tables, we also have a small booking table that was inspired by the commercial pasting machines that have a small booking table that attaches to the front of the machine. This is our GT75K. It's a GTK series booking table that is available for all of our 32-inch and 40-inch pasting machines, both in the CBX and the S-type series. The table comes with brackets on either side that slide into your arms that raise up from your folding stand. The brackets are adjustable to three height positions, so you can adjust the height of your booking table accordingly to what fits you best. You have 2.5 inches of adjustment height. So the table simply lines up and drops in. You have a cutting edge, stainless steel cutting edge here that you can use to cut your material. Both when you're pulling your material through, you can use that as your cutting edge, and you can also, if you need to cut widths, you can rotate your material. You have guidelines on both ends so that you can get your right angle situated so that you can cut along here if you need to cut your widths of your material. So when cutting your material, you're just gonna, just as with our commercial pasting machines, it gives you a handy surface that is attached to your sand, doesn't take up a lot of real estate on your job site, and you're able to have your material booked and cut and ready to hang. Not only does the GTK booking table make a handy working surface while you're pulling, booking, and pasting your material, it also converts into a shelf that serves to protect your pasting machine when you're done for the end of the day. After you put up your machine, seal it with plastic, or after you've cleaned it out and you want to store it, it doesn't take up as much space. It protects the machine, it protects the counter, and it makes it to where it's easily mobile to go through doorways and narrow passages. For storage and transport of your CBX pasting machines, you have the option of the HKN wood cases. These wood cases are handcrafted by tapo-fix, sealed, and delivered to store your pasting machine and accessories. You can buy this as a set that comes with the case, pasting machine, counter, apron, folding ruler, cleaning tool, replacement blades, your stand, and your material bar, all in the set. Or the case is available as a separate accessory that can be purchased alone that works with this. The stand folds up, goes into the machine, into the case on the machine. The case has handles for carrying, casters for standing up and rolling, and handles also on either side for lifting, and also the whole case can be pivoted up onto the casters and toted like a suitcase at an airport. This is very handy to keep your machine and all of its accessories stored safely during transport, to keep it protected and ready for use the next time you need to use your machine. Now that we've finished pasting and booking our material and we're done with our pasting machine for the day, we need to be able to clean it out. Now you don't have to clean your machine every day. You can put it up at the end of the day. There's a procedure and a practice that you can cover the machine, seal it tight with plastic, and then it's good to go the next day. But eventually, after use, or if it's going to be sitting for more than 7 days, we recommend that you go ahead and drain the machine, clean it out. You don't want to leave your paste roller sitting in paste unused for more than 7 days. Can stay overnight, over the weekend, covered properly, works fine once you come back to it, but at some point you're going to need to drain your machine and clean it out. So the process is fairly simple. You start off, remove your counter, and remove your material bar. The drain plug in the center of the bottom of the paste well pops out and has a brass chain that allows it to just hang while the paste is draining out. You have brass thumb screws on either side of your lid that simply screw out and allow you to remove the lid. The lid can be set aside and cleaned separately, but typically during the day you've kept it clean, you've kept it wiped down while you're doing your installation, so it's not going to have much paste, maybe a little residual paste that you might need to clean up before you put it back together. Next, we're going to go ahead and pop out our catch bar, set it off in a bucket of paste, a bucket of water, so that it can be soaking and it can just be wiped down. Before I set it off, a lot of times I will go ahead, just wipe the paste off, and then set it into a bucket of water to clean up later after I've drained my machine. Apply a little upward pressure to the paste roller and it pops out of the brackets that hold it in place. Now you can use your cleaning squeegee to scrape off the paste before you pop it out to make it a little bit neater. I usually keep a bucket nearby that I can just drop it in and then clean it out after I've emptied out my paste well and while that's soaking. Now you can take your cleaning tool that's provided with every tapo-fix, CBX, and S-Series pasting machine that is designed, formed to fit the shape of your paste well. You simply take it, rake the paste towards the center, until you have a sufficient amount of the paste out that you can just begin hosing it down or gently wiping it down if you're inside. If you're inside and you can't just spray it down, if you don't have an area outside that you can clean it up at, I recommend that you put the drain plug back in, fill it up about 1/4 of the way with water, and then just take a rag and start cleaning it out. Because the CBX series that we're cleaning out today uses a spoiler plate to scrape the paste off of the roller before it's applied to the machine, paste builds up underneath this spoiler plate. You want to pay special attention to getting this clean. There's actually a stainless steel bar underneath here that you can't see from that angle, but we'll be able to show that gathers paste. So you want to make sure you get that good and clean, and then once you have all the paste out, dry it out, reverse, put your stop bar, your roller, your lid back on, and you're ready to go. Dry it out with a dry rag.